I'm Brittany.
And I'm Heather.
Welcome to Okayest Moms, the podcast.
A place to be more than just mom.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Okayest Moms, the podcast. Right before we started recording, Heather said, I have a great cat story. So let's get
Well, it's not a great cat story, but it's a story about cats. This is a special morning edition of the Okayest Moms.
It's 7 a.m., you guys.
We started recording at 7 a.m. because that's just what we have to do to fit all these episodes in. So as I've mentioned before, our cat Lewis is an indoor-outdoor cat. And as such, he has attracted some sort of posse outside. All of a sudden in our neighborhood, there's like several outdoor cats. I don't know if they're feral. I don't know what. All of a sudden there's like multiple cats outdoors, which I either never noticed or they didn't exist before our cat was outside.
Hasn't he been outside lately?
He has. He had quite a traumatic start to July. There was a whole thing. If you follow us on Instagram, you might have heard. He got dehydrated, which like really backs up a cat system. And he had to have it was basically like a very intense UTI. And it cost $2,000 to it was a nightmare. So he's been inside a lot lately. And apparently like his little gang is missing him because
They know where he lives.
No, it's like they're literally coming to our window at like 4 a.m. Like, can Lois come out and play? Like, and it's just like the loudest, shrillest meow you've ever heard. And
Oh my God.
so that happened at like 4 a.m. this morning. And I knew I'm trying to like start getting in the routine of waking up early. So as of this recording, it's July, and I'm trying to like get in the routine of waking up early because I know school's coming, and it's just like, I know it's going to hit me like a ton of bricks. So I'm like, this is the perfect chance. I'm going to wake up at 5:30 because we're going to record anyway. And I got to like be fresh and ready. And all of a sudden at 4 a.m. Shut up. And it happened like 2 nights ago too. So like, I'm still kind of recovering from like I'm just to the point, I'm at the age where like if one night of sleep ruins the next like 10 days of sleep, and it's so frustrating.
Oh, it's the worst. Oh my God. I can't believe they know where you live. So like, do they?
It's so annoying. We're like, can you tell your bros to like leave, please? Like we don't. It's just.
Oh my God. These cats, man.
Oh God, it's just and we think one of them's in heat, and we're like, listen, sister, you're barking up, you're meowing up the wrong tree because
UTI tree.
well, this guy he's got nothing. So as a condition of his adoption, he cannot impregnate you. So about that. So TLDR, we shouldn't record at 7 a.m.
This is really something. I mean, in the middle of this recording, which we will edit out, I just dropped off the face of the planet. Just went blank. Nothing was.
To be fair, that will also happen in the middle of the day. So
if I'm hungry, if I'm tired, like conditions have to be perfect.
It's like recording with an organ, people. Thankfully, our guest today rescued us. As always, Olivia just knows exactly what to say, which is actually perfect because we're talking about her book, which is Simple Scripts to Support Your People, which tells you exactly what to say. And she just has had such, can we say character arc? Like, I feel like that's what it is.
She has character energy for sure.
Oh, for sure. We've had her on the podcast in the past, and we kind of joke that like she's a completely different person. She's been through a divorce. She started a new business with her sister, and it's just taken off like a house on fire. And it's just been so fun to watch. And you guys are going to love this episode with her.
We'll jump into the episode right after this quick break. Get ready for the school year with Essential Calendar. Ready or not, the school year is just around the corner. Drop-offs, pickups, sports, lessons, activities, birthday parties. Oh, I'm tired just thinking about it. It's all coming back at once, and you're going to need a way to keep it all straight.
Why not join the Essential Calendar Quarterly Calendar Club? You'll receive a new calendar automatically shipped to you every 3 months at a discounted subscription rate of 10% off. Each essential calendar lets you to see the entire season, all 3 months at a glance, making sure you don't overbook or underbook depending on how many extroverts you have in your family.
To get 10% off your subscription to the Essential Calendar Quarterly Calendar Club, go to okayestmoms.com/essential. With the busy back-to-school season just around the corner, there has never been a better time to try HelloFresh. With HelloFresh, you get everything you need to get dinner on the table delivered directly to your door. You choose the meals on their weekly menu, how many servings you'd like it to be, and they do the rest. No more trips to the grocery store or endless hours of meal planning because you can do it all in one step with HelloFresh. And if your plans change, you can easily skip a week on their super user-friendly app.
Okayest Moms listeners can get 18 meals free, which is 50% off your first 4 boxes, making the price per serving under $5. To get this deal, just click through the link in our show notes and complete your order.
Hi, Olivia. Welcome to the show.
Hi, girls. I'm so excited to be here.
You've been on the show before, but can you let our listeners
Yeah.
know all about what you've been up to with Fresh Starts Registry?
I know. I feel like it was like a million years ago. I was
It was like a whole other lifetime
it
ago
was
for
a
you.
whole other lifetime. I'm like a different person. Yeah. So since we last chatted, I've gone through a divorce, started a new company, moved, like all the life changes. So I and my sister and I founded Fresh Starts Registry in 2021. It is the first and only platform for everything that you need to begin again. So we are the first support registry. It's a term we coined, support registry. We're the first ever divorce registry. And we like to say we're kind of the life registry, right? Because what is life if not for a series of fresh starts? And so we have two major components. We have our registry, which is a typical registry. It's powered by Amazon, free to use. And we have built bundles over on freshstartsregistry.com based on rooms of the house, based on budgets, based on kind of life changes. So you can go add all those to your Amazon registry. We chose Amazon and not to build out our own platform because Amazon already has security measures in place. So this way your friends and family can send you things without giving your address out, which we want to always make sure people are safe, right? So whether it's a divorce or transitioning or coming out, all these things that you don't want to necessarily give your address out for. And then the other part of it is that we have our experts. So I kind of got this idea while I was going through my own divorce that, divorce, but all life changes are so overwhelming. And when you guys know, when you're in the middle of like a life crisis, you don't have the energy to sit and Google like child therapist, like who's the good one, right? So I wanted a place that people could come and know that they could get an expert to work with them who's vetted, who is a fresh starts expert. We make all of our experts sign an ethos that says that they are shame free, they're judgment free, and they are inclusive. And we attract a very specific vibe of expert. We are obsessed with our experts. We have over 80 experts now in everything from therapists and realtors to astrologers, psychics, healers, coaches of all different kinds, divorce coaches, life coaches. And then, of course, because I couldn't give up my marketing hat, we developed a community for our experts to help them build their businesses. So I always am very transparent about this because we get questions. Anytime we are in the press, people love to come attack us and say, oh, you're making money off of people's life changes and blah, blah, blah. We don't. The way we make money is that all of our experts pay a monthly membership fee, just like a typical membership, like Psychology Today. But what we offer them is support in marketing communications, and we do PR for them. We get them we do public relations. So it's pretty unheard of at the price point that they are paying into right now, that we've placed our experts in hundreds of press pieces over the last year. And we are, when I say obsessed with our experts, like we are so passionate about helping them grow their businesses. As you guys know, my background's in small business, social media. And so we really took everything we knew about small business, social media, marketing, PR, and put it into our membership community. So when you are, let's say you're a life coach and you are looking to build your business, to grow a community, you can come sign on and you get your profile, you get a podcast episode, and you get support in all of these ways, plus PR. We always say our mission is to eliminate the overwhelm of life changes, right? So it's one place you can come get the items you need for the life change or ask for the items and then get the experts you need. 90% of our experts are virtual and most of them offer free consultations. And if you can't afford that, most of them have either a podcast episode or content that you can also download. And then the other thing, obviously, too, is that we have our book, which we'll talk about, but we always like to say kind of our place in the world is to bridge the gap between people who need support and people who want to support. Because we believe that everybody wants to support their community, but they just don't know how. And so, we always say like the interesting kind of dichotomy of building fresh starts was I stayed in the marital residence when I got divorced. And so I wanted everything out and to get new things. My sister ended her engagement and she moved out with nothing. And so she built up a whole new apartment and she had friends offering to do all sorts of things. So, we really wanted to, and this is a big part of the book, teach people how to support their loved ones in times of need or in all sorts of times because, we just sometimes don't know what to do or what to say. And so that's what Fresh Starts is here to help with.
I love that. I think that was such a natural transition from the business and the registry to the book because the book is all about. I was joking that it's really just how to be a human for dummies because, like you said, I think everybody wants to say these things, but we just don't know how. And brain space is at an all-time shortage in my head, at least. And it's just like I want to be that person, but I don't know. I don't know how to be that person and how to say these things. So the book really breaks it down really simply.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. And that's the whole thing, Heather. It's like, you know, you are a busy mom, you're running businesses, you have all these things. Let's say a friend texts you and is like, my husband just left, which has literally happened to me. I was in the middle of breaking up with my husband, and my friend Emily texted me, "Hey, what's going on?" And I was like, "I think my husband's leaving." And she goes, "Leaving where?" And I was like, "Me. He's leaving me." And so, like, these things happen. Like, these things really happen. And, you put your phone down and you're like, I'm gonna text her back later. And then you don't know what to say. And then you feel sad and frustrated, and they're feeling sad. And it's like, we are all about changing the vibes, right? So if we can change the vibes between people's relationships, we had one of the reviews for the book says, if everybody had this book, the world would be a better place. And like, I really feel that in my heart of hearts. Like, we just need to know what to say. And once you can put it out there, it's so much easier to say something the next time, too.
So do you want to give us a quick rundown of like
Yeah.
how the book is set up,
Yeah.
what's in it, how it's organized?
Sure. So the book, like all good things, came to me in the shower. And I'm big on Twitter, as you guys know. And so maybe about a year ago, I started sharing just some tweets. Like every Sunday, I would share a tweet that said, like, here's a simple script to get you through the week, or a simple script to send to a friend who lost their job. And then I was like, wait a second. And at the time, my sister and I were living together at my parents' house. And I was in the shower and I'm like, simple scripts to support your people. And I literally like jump out of the shower and run into the bedroom. And Jenny's like, what's the matter? And I was like, simple scripts to support your people. And she was like, what to say when you don't know what to say? And I was like, that's it, done. And we always joke that like our best ideas make us go, no, because then we have to like do them. And so we literally sat down. We started writing the book in about January, February. And so the book is literally 200 scripts that cover all different life scenarios. And these are scripts that are about a paragraph long. You can text them, you can say them on a voice memo, you can, edit them to make the scenario fit a little bit more to you. But we base this on the actual things that the people in our life go through. And, so we have everything. And it was really important to us to have things in there that people don't talk about. Right. So we have abortion, we have miscarriage, we have death of a child, we have loss of a baby, but we also have the good things too, right? Like elopement, marriage, new baby, new house, graduating from degrees. But, we really sat down and we went through like our list of people and we were like, okay, what did this person go through? What did this person go through? And, just like all good books are fact checked, we human checked this. So we sent things to people who have been through these actual things. So if we hadn't been through it ourselves, we sent it to somebody who had. So the book starts off with kind of different ways you can support people, whether it's free, whether it's a little bit of money. We're all about free ways to support people because there are a lot. And then it's these 200 scripts kind of divided up by different, topics, children, work, things like that. But then as we were writing this book, we realized that we had like this breakdown that we were doing for every script. And so we were sitting in the coffee shop one day and we were like, we're essentially writing these scripts kind of in the same pattern for different scenarios. And so, Jenny said something about how words are like flowers, right? So you can give words like flowers. If you can't send flowers, you can send words. And I was like, yeah, like in a vase. And then I was like, oh, wait a second. And then so we like put together this like program, which is called the VAS method, which stands for validate, acknowledge, support, and express. And we break that down in the book about how you can write your own scripts. There's actually a workbook that we also sell on Amazon that goes through this as well. And what's been really cool is that we've had therapists now use the VAS method. We've had companies use the VAS method. This has become like our proprietary, like new method that we're
Trademark that.
I know, we're working on it. And so it's been amazing. And so, we really want people to be able to like break down their own scenarios and say, okay, what does it mean to validate, acknowledge, support, and express? But that's essentially what all of the scripts in the book are based on that method. But it was, again, really important to us, that we covered situations because you get a lot of fluffy books out there that are like, here's how to support people, blah, blah, blah. But this was like, yeah, actually, your friend needs to get tested for STDs. What do you say to them? Right? Or like, your friend finds out that their ex was a narcissist, or that they see their ex's new partner on social media, right? And so we also wanted to bring in a lot of pop culture and a lot of like what's happening now. So, how do you support your friends? You send Muppet GIFs, you send cat GIFs, all these things. And so we wanted to make it really conversational, really real. And I will say we changed the way we speak to people by writing the book. And anybody kind of that was an early reader said the same thing. There were a couple instances we had a couple people read it, and one of them was a widow, and she was like, "I love this, but there's one line in like the death of a spouse that like widows actually would not appreciate because it said something like I can't imagine what you're going through." And she was like, that's too traumatic for us to hear because then it makes us feel isolated. And so we were like, amazing, we're going to update the script for the book. And then I tell this story a lot, but one night while I was literally writing the scripts for the book, one of my dear friends emailed me that she lost her baby. And I messaged one of my other friends who lost a baby because a lot of people have lost babies. And I said, what do I say? And she told me what to say. And I edited a little bit and sent it to my friend. And so that script for Sachi is actually in the book. And we dedicate that script to her because, she inspired that script so other people can know what to say when their friend loses a baby. Because the stuff is hard. And you really, we carry so much emotions for our friends around with us. We're proud of them. We're excited. We feel for them. But often we don't know how to express that to our friends. And that's something that I'm trying to do more of. And I want other people to use the book to do that too.
It is very specific, which I love.
Yeah.
It's like you said, it's not this like fluffy little thing. Like it's like it is actionable. And like this is what you say. And when I say you guys that she's thought of every scenario, they have thought of every scenario. The one that I just died laughing at seems to be joining a sketchy community.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, oh.
Well, we don't want to say it, but I'm sure we have all had friends.
Oh, we all picked up. I was just,
Yeah.
I was like, this is so perfect. Like, no, I don't want to buy your shakes, but
Mhm.
here's what I can say to you.
And also we put some stuff in there that are really traumatic for some people, like losing their luggage, or when your best friend doesn't know what to wear because maybe their body's changed, or so like we kind of make it clear at the beginning of the book, like for us and as humans, our bodies feel things in the same way, right? So having a vacation canceled on us is traumatic, right? And so what do you say when your friend texts you and they're like, oh, my flight was delayed, I'm so stressed out? It's like, you want to be able to, and again, a lot of these are jumping points that you can use to kind of start the conversation or take pieces of them. But yeah, we got super specific in this book for sure.
I love it so much. And like you said, they are a jumping off point, but how can somebody take it and make it their own without sounding robotic? Like why do these scripts work for everyone?
I mean, in a perfect world, we're all going to be saying these things to each other, right?
I know. I laugh at that. I'm like, oh no, some of my friends are like, I was scripted. Yeah, that's such a good question, Brittany. I think a couple of things. Think about the relationship that you have built with that person already, right? So like think about how you refer to them. Like there are certain friends of mine that say like, hey love, or hey darling, right? Or whatever. Other friends, it's hey babe, or you have maybe special names for your friends. Throw their name in there. I'm a big believer in using people's names. And especially if somebody's passed away, whether it's a child, baby, partner, parent, we are now getting older. A lot of our parents are going through things. And that was a big part of this book for us too, is helping our friends, as their parents got aged and you have to put them in safe spaces for them, or you have to go through their houses, right? So I think it was Brene Brown says, it's the little details about a friendship that make up the friendship. That's where trust comes, right? So you could be friends with somebody for just a little while, but maybe they remember your mom's name, or maybe they remember, your dog's name or whatever. So using their specific names, their locations, their favorite things, right? So maybe they are somebody that loves, The Office, and you're like, okay, I'm just gonna send you an Office GIF every day, just so you know that I'm here, right? So making it that it's a little bit more specific for them, kind of using that same verbiage that we have in the script, it makes people feel so seen. And I think that's really all people want to do, is just be seen and just be validated that they are a human. Sometimes, as you both know, when we go through traumatic experiences, we feel so lost and invisible. And we just want somebody to say, hey, I see you in the world, and like you're not alone. And so using their name, using maybe their favorite things, saying like, let's say your friend loves tacos, saying something like, "Do you want me to send you tacos?" or "Do you want me to send you a recipe?" Right? Little things like that really makes them feel like a human again. And I think that's our goal here.
What are your thoughts on sending one of these scripts to somebody that you suspect is going through something, but they haven't maybe fully confided in that to you, or they don't know how, or they don't know if you're the right person for, like, how do you offer support for something that you're just suspecting?
That's a great question. I love that. And I definitely get that in my own life. I think you can always, like, it doesn't have to be, like, you don't have to overthink this, right? You can always just send a text. First of all, texting is amazing. Like, we don't need to overthink text. Like, you can text people. You don't need to make it phone calls. You don't need to do Zoom. Just send a text and go, hey, I've been thinking of you lately. Let you know I'm always here if you need anything. I'm a safe space for you, and I'm really proud of you, and I love that you're in my life, right? It doesn't have to be anything, and then they know you're a safe person that they can come to. Obviously, if it's like a little bit more, you're concerned for them, maybe they're not, doing well mentally. You can always send a text and say, "Hey, I've noticed that maybe you're going through a rough time right now. Just want to let you know I'm thinking of you, and I'm always here if you need anything." And that's okay. Look, anybody that is going through a rough time will feel validated and supported, and if they're not, then they'll know that next time they are, that you're a safe person for them.
So Heather and I have experienced this between ourselves lately. It's gone from like the fun, carefree friendship to like serious stuff like midlife crisis, partner.
Yeah, we're just like at that age where like real
Oh,
shit's happening.
Yeah,
yeah.
parents
Yeah.
dying, all that stuff. How do we better show up for our friends during this midlife? No, quarter life. That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah. Honestly, again, it goes back to really simple things. I think being effusive with your love is a beautiful thing. And I don't know where it changed culturally that we felt like shame to tell our friends we love them, or to be overly loving with our friends, especially female friendships. But I think it's such a beautiful way to just send a text and be like, I'm thinking of you. I miss your face. I love you. You're amazing. It does, that's as simple as it needs to be. And just setting those kind of like setting the stage for when that shit does happen, and like your friend has a total mental breakdown, which was me a couple weeks ago, so I totally get it. Like, then you can be like, "Hey, I know you're having a really hard time. Please let me know if I can support you through this." And again, we say this in the book, but there's so many ways that you can support people for free, right? So some of them are like Googling things for them, right? So like recently, one of my kids is going through some behavioral testing, and we, of course, got some interesting diagnosis. And so, having my friends Google what it is and be like, oh, this is interesting. I didn't know this. I've never heard about this. And them sending me books that I can get from the library. Right. So it's like, it seems simple. Right. Once you say it, it's like, oh, I can just Google it for my friend. Or like, let's say your friend is going through a breast cancer diagnosis, doing a little research for them, figuring out the lingo. Or, I mean, divorce is like a whole other world, right? Your friend's going through a divorce, say to them, do you want me to call divorce lawyers for you? Like, I can call a therapist. Do you want me to research on, I can go to Fresh Starts and find somebody for you, right? So just kind of like, being that sister, that soul sister that people really need. And again, like, it doesn't have to be difficult. It's always easier to do things for other people, right? And so, the implication here is that you are building a relationship with somebody that when it's your time to go through the hard shit, they're going to be there for you too. And if they're not, then you learn a big lesson in that too.
Yeah, totally.
But I think it takes a lot on both parts because the information and the offer has to come in a non-judgmental
Yeah.
form. And it
Yeah.
also has to be the person wants to receive it too without, so I think it's definitely a dance that
It
has to
is,
be
and you know
done.
what? The sad part is, Heather, like, as you go through this stuff, your friendship circle might get smaller, right? It just does. But, you don't need a million friends. You just need a couple of friends that will be there for your ride or dies. And I agree, and I think that also taking the perspective of, like, when somebody is really low or going through something, they're not gonna show up for you in a way that you need,
Totally.
and I
Or even in a
definitely.
way that you are expecting either.
No, and we always,
So
like,
yeah.
look at, like, our children, right? When our children are going through a tantrum, right, they're not gonna turn around and be like, "I love you, mom." Like, that's not what they're gonna do, right? But, like, if you're and I definitely saw this going through my own divorce. I couldn't give to my friends. I had nothing else to give, right? And, I had friends that were definitely pissed off about that, right? Like, "Well, I'm calling you every day, and I'm not." Dude, I can't pick up the phone, right? I'm
Yeah.
depressed. And so I think that there has to be some you're when you develop these relationships with people, your ego really can't be in it when they're going through it, right? It has to be like, look, they may not text you back. They may not, um, be as responsive as you want when it comes to the support, but you know that you can give them a text once in a while that says, I'm here if you need anything. You can send them a DoorDash gift card, all these things, right? But like they may not. Now, hopefully, like I said, when they come out of it or come through it, they will be aware of what the support you gave them. But I mean, you both know you've both been low. You can't when you're really in it in the thick of it. It's really impossible to be a human, right? And to
Totally.
like be that person that anybody can respond to. So, yeah, it's a great question, and I think we need to remember that friendships can ebb and flow and friendships can grow and they can change. And like you both said, as we get older, our friendships are really going to change because we are changing. And the life things that we go through are going to change. Our children are getting older. We're going to see them go to college and all these things. So yeah, eventually, but mostly the pain for college is scary, you know so, being open-minded that friendships can change. It's not always gonna be, Taylor Swift conversations. It's gonna be hard shit like, I have to put my mom in a nursing home, and what does that look like? And how I don't know which one is good, and can you help me look at options? And, and to me, that's what gives me the chills about friendship. Like, that's the people that you would do anything for, and there's something so primal and beautiful about that.
Oh, totally. And I think a big part of being able to be that person for each other is that we have to make time for like the fun stuff in between, which
Absolutely.
is so hard
Yeah.
because everybody's got kids going in different directions, different like moving, like all these other
I
life
agree with you, Heather.
changes.
I really agree. You know what I've done recently, which is just like an easy way, is like when you're listening to music, you're driving in the car, send your friends a song on Spotify, right? Like, or like send them a text with just a song. Like I literally like I've my best friend from growing up and we love musicals, and I sent her a song the other day, and then we ended up talking, right? So I agree with you. You have to kind of have the fun stuff in there too.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. It seemed like it was easier to like plan like nights out with friends and stuff when my kids were smaller, but now that because they had no activities and now that they have like other things that I'm also required to be at, it's almost harder to do anything.
But that's where you get, like, them sending memes, right? Like, those things count. Like, again, it goes back to being seen, right? So it may not seem like a big deal to send a reel on Instagram to, like, your best friend across the country, but, like, that to
Except
her
when they don't even watch them.
well, I'm the worst at that. My sister sends me
If
TikToks all the time, and I don't watch them. I
I
get it.
save
I really
them
get
up
it.
and then I forget about them.
I'm the same way. I'm the Britney here. I get it. I really get it. But
It's really funny, damn it. Watch it.
I
Telling my husband.
Yeah. My sister has to now tell me, like, this is what it's about. This is why you need to watch it. It takes more time for her to tell me than for me to watch it.
Is there a
But I
cat in
definitely,
it? Okay, I'll watch it.
yeah, I mean, it's all it's all those little things, sending the song, sending the memes, sending, even just like liking their Instagram post, right? Just so that they know that you are there and then they can rely on you when things get hard.
Well, I love it all. You're doing amazing things.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on the show. Can you let our audience know where they can find you?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can go to freshstartsregistry.com. And like I said, it's free to build a registry. We have people building registries and I just want to make it clear, it's not just divorce, right? So it's divorce, breakup, job changes, moving, living through grief, graduating from your PhD or medical school, buying your first house or your first apartment. We have people making registries for their dogs, for their children. And then we have all of our experts at freshstartsregistry.com. We are Fresh Starts Registry on Instagram, and we have so much free content out there. And I say my DMs are always open. I'm the digital Yenta everywhere if anybody needs anything. And if you are an expert and you would like to become a Fresh Starts expert, please let me know. We're happy to give you a month free. And, the book is on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, a ton of indie bookstores, bookshop.org if you'd like to shop indie as well. And the Kindle version is under $5 because we wanted to make it super, super affordable for people to have it. And there'll be more books in the future. So stay tuned.
Oh, yeah.
And the podcast. Did we even talk about the podcast?
Yeah, we have our podcast. Yes. We have our podcast. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that.
It's called A Fresh Story. And we're now on season 3, which is crazy. And it's interviews with people going through all different fresh starts in life. And we have amazing, they're amazing interviews, but we have really cool ones coming up too. So definitely check that out as well and all the places. And like I said, if anybody has questions or if you're going through anything or if you need a script, just let me know.
Thank you so much for joining us. Seeing your whole arc over the last couple of years has just been so fun to watch. And
Thank
you just seem so much happier and lighter. And it's just so great to see.
Yeah, I got rid of 180 pounds, so it helped.
If you like what you just heard, and we hope you do, you can find more of us online at www.okayestmoms.com. We're also on all social media platforms, Pinterest, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at Okayest Moms Blog. Or if you want to, you can send us an email at hey@okayestmoms.com.